You know, since this game has come out, it's been nothing but controversy after controversy. And it makes me really sad because this was one of the few games that I felt comfortable being excited about. It was a studio that seemed to pride itself on caring about the community, caring about putting out a quality product, and it was one of the last companies I felt like I could trust to put out a game that was not going to be broken on day one. Because we're now, in retrospect, a lot of people are coming out and going, oh, this is why you don't pre-order games, this is why you don't buy games day one. But do you remember back before video games could just be patched like that? It was rare for this to happen. It really was. It was rare for a game to come out in a horrible, broken, buggy state. And I think it all really started happening during the Xbox One and PS4 life cycle. Yeah, the 360 and PS3, they could patch games when they first came out. There were definitely some buggy games that came out, but it didn't feel like as many did, especially the huge titles that people are incredibly excited about from studios that before seemed to actually know what they were doing and to put time and effort in to make a quality product. I mean, when Bungie put out Destiny, yeah, it wasn't a horrible, buggy mess of a game, but it was just bland, generic. The story sucked. The gameplay was like, I mean, the shooting was the best part, but it was just, go to this place. Okay, now stand there and shoot wave after wave of enemies. Okay, next place, shoot wave after wave of enemies. And they overpromised and lied, which is really what you could say about four of the biggest disappointments in gaming in the last, decade? I mean, these were the biggest games that were hyped to hell and then failed to launch. Now, there have been lots of other games out there that have been hyped to hell and then did amazing. I mean, all the Halo games, all the Bungie Halo games were hyped to hell and came out and were amazing. Yeah, some of them had like bugs here and there, or some had cut content. Halo 2 had a couple things that were missing, but overall, Halo 2 is a phenomenal game. I don't think anybody can deny that. Halo 3, amazing. I mean, I think the first day there were so many people that were trying to play it, it might have had some server issues, but beyond that, phenomenal game. And now I have to ask the question, are we even allowed to be excited anymore? Because it seems like we're not. We're constantly saying no pre-orders. That's the big meme of the internet. No pre-orders, or I'm not going to pre-order anymore. First of all, I want to address pre-orders, because pre-orders I've talked about before. Pre-ordering does not mean you have to buy the game day one. I hate that so much. Don't pre-order. Why? You know, if the game comes out and it's crap, just cancel your pre-order. Cancellation's a thing you can do, I promise you. It's very easy. It's very easy, I promise you. Unless it's a digital game, why are you pre-ordering a digital game? It's not going to sell out, and normally the bonuses you get for a digital pre-order aren't that great. Whereas when you pre-order a physical game at, let's say, Best Buy, for instance, a lot of the time you get a $10 off coupon. You basically get a $10 gift card for Best Buy. And a lot of places have been doing that. And then Walmart will just do like $10 off around, maybe forever. I have not paid attention to prices at Walmart and how long they stay at that $50 instead of $60 price range. But at least with Best Buy and a couple other places, they will give you money for pre-ordering that game. Now, you can still cancel those pre-orders even though they give you money for picking up the game. Just don't pick it up. You won't get the money, but you saved yourself that money and time and emotional investment of, having to play a bad game. And that's what I should have done with Cyberpunk, But just like with Destiny, I kind of saw it in the cards with Fallout 76. I knew that game was probably not going to be that great. I got excited, but I was hesitant because I don't know, there was something about it that seemed off before it came out. And then I was right. So I picked it up later just to do videos on it. But I wasn't really upset that it came out. I was not really emotionally invested in that launch like I was with Destiny, like I was with Cyberpunk. I mean, especially with Cyberpunk. I mean, this one, the reason it hit so hard is not just because CD Projekt Red was amazing, not just because they were doing a lot of great things at GOG and still are. They're still archiving a lot of games and making them available to people and easily played on your modern computer, but the amount of shady stuff they did, I mean, I can't even enjoy The Witcher 3 as much as I used to. I used to hype the hell out of that game because it was so much fun. It was huge. It came with all those little extras just like this game did. And it just was overall a phenomenal experience from a company that I felt like I could now trust. And then they do this. They lie. They started development a lot later than they said. They knew the issues. And there's just so many things that have come out about this. And the more that comes out, the worse this company looks. And the more we really have to look at the whole game industry and realize that none of these companies are our friends anymore. We really can't just blindly buy video games anymore. We can't just be excited anymore. How sad is that? This is a hobby that is supposed to be about having fun. And yet now we can't. I would argue we can't. Just to answer the question of the video, no. No, we can't just be excited about games anymore. And that sucks. That really sucks. Midnight launches and picking up games as soon as they come out, experiencing that hype, just that feeling of everybody having a good time together, seeing your friends list with all of the people playing the same exact game. That's just such a phenomenal thing that we're not going to see anymore. We're just not. I think people more and more are going to wise up to the fact that none of these companies give a shit anymore. They just don't. And that's blatant. After this game, this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Just like EA with Battlefront 2 was the straw that broke the loot boxes camel's back on the console. Of course, there's still loot boxes in mobile games, but that's a whole nother topic. It really does make me genuinely sad and disappointed with the entire industry that surrounds one of my hobbies. One of these things that I use to de-stress, kind of, relax. But now it's just harder to get excited for my next piece of escapism because I just don't know if I can trust whether or not it's going to be a good game. I don't know. I really don't. And that sucks. Even the companies that haven't done any wrong yet, because Bethesda, Bungie, and CD Projekt Red have lied to us in the past, what is to stop these other companies from doing that? Is Cyberpunk really going to be the thing that changes the industry and makes them more accountable for what they put out? I hope so. As much as I liked CD Projekt Red, I hope those class action lawsuits against them happen. I hope that there are legal ramifications for lying to millions of people and making a ton of money off of those lies. False advertising is not a legal thing you can do. And that's exactly what a lot of these companies have been doing. Yeah, a couple of these games that come out when they're terrible have had redemption arcs. No Man's Sky is one of them, and props to them for actually sticking with their game and not charging for the fixes. But they'll always have that stain in my mind of, well, you shouldn't have said all these different things. Yeah, you could argue, well, Sony should have not given them such a huge marketing budget. Yeah, they shouldn't have gone to so many interviews and been pressured to do so much of this marketing. But at the end of the day, they still lied. Yes, it's nice they put in the effort. Yes, it's nice that they put in all of that manpower and time into making the game into something that people can enjoy. But it still came out and was a miserable piece of crap. I know there's some people that are lunatics and enjoy a lot of these really crappy games when they first come out because they are just so dedicated to lying to themselves and yelling at others about how their investment was worth it. They can't handle the fact that they lost money on something that is objectively terrible. And no, I don't think that companies or people should be, unforgiven forever for something like this. I don't, but at the same time, we got to keep these people accountable. We have to keep these companies accountable for what they've done. No Man's Sky, I can forgive a little bit easier than CD Projekt Red or Bethesda or any of those different companies. First of all, I can't forgive Bethesda. They put microtransactions, they lied over and over and over, even after the game was already out. They said they wouldn't put pay-to-win stuff. They put pay-to-win stuff. They put a bunch of stuff in the game that they directly said that they wouldn't. CD Projekt Red lied. They put out fake gameplay demos for people to play that really weren't a taste of the game, because a taste of the game would have been a broken, buggy mess. They had trailers for the PS4 and Xbox One that looked nothing like how it was going to actually look on those systems. They said it played wonderfully on those systems before it came out, and it didn't. So I can't forgive them. Bungie, I mean, people love Destiny 2, I guess. It's okay. I mean, Destiny 2 is all right. Destiny 1, in my opinion, never got better. But at least they're trying to make the series better with Destiny 2. But they lied so much about what Destiny 1 was going to be. I remember them talking about space travel and going to different planets in your own ship. And they made it sound like you were going to fly that ship. And it was going to be this big, expansive world. And it was nothing but a bunch of instanced areas. And I think Destiny 2, they at least cleared up the language of what it was actually going to be. They're like, all right, I hope you like Destiny 1, because we're going to be doing the same sort of thing with Destiny 2, and we're not going to promise the galaxy. We're just going to promise the last game, but slightly better. And then improve it over time and make it a game that people enjoy now. I don't really know what else to say about Destiny 2. Haven't played too far into that game, even though I beat the main campaign. But I do think we need to be wary before we buy games day one. Nowadays, at least. I don't think we should. I think just wait until some content creator makes something about it, somebody live streams it, we get a nice big collection of opinions and gameplay, and we can actually see what the game is like before we play it. But all these obstacles they keep putting in front of reviews and all these weird embargo rules that they keep doing, especially, again, with Cyberpunk, I can't forgive CD Projekt Red because they said you can't use your own gameplay for your review. If you're going to review it day one, you can't use your own gameplay, which is why a lot of people didn't put the reviews out day one, because they're like, okay, canned gameplay? I don't think so. We're not doing that. We're going to wait and use our own. It's just so many scumbag things out there. Good Lord. So I think pre-ordering, sure. Do it, but not digitally, so you can cancel it. Just don't open it until you know that the game is not a pile of garbage. Buying games day one, if you're gonna buy the game day one, again, don't open it. Wait a couple days. If you can wait 2 days after launch, that's probably when you'll have a definitive answer of whether or not the game is good. Hell, just wait the day after launch and you'll have a definitive answer of whether or not the game is good. And you'll save yourself $60 and a lot of heartache and disappointment. $60 is a lot of money, especially now that games are going to be $70. Why would you buy a game day one at all for $70? Especially an Ubisoft game. For the love of God, if you're buying Ubisoft games day one, please stop. Please. You're just ripping yourself off. The last time I bought a Ubisoft game day one was The Division 2. I immediately regretted it because then 2 weeks after launch, the game was $30. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I've already seen it for $30. That Phoenix Rising game, which is supposed to be good, I've already seen it for $30. A lot of these games, they're not going to hold their value. Just wait. Just wait. It's very easy to get swept up in the hype. Believe me. I've done it. But you gotta resist and wait until the game industry figures their shit out. Because we can't just keep giving them money for the broken products they keep selling us. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about my sentiments about no longer being excited about video games coming out. I mean, I guess Sony first-party titles you can be excited about. But even then, like, I worry if I'm excited about it, is it just going to be terrible? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. Like the video if you guys liked it. Subscribe for more content. And as always, have a fantastic day. See you, everybody. I was going to make a comprehensive video of all the things that have happened so far with Cyberpunk 2077, but I feel like I've already missed that news cycle, so I decided to make this video instead, talking about whether or not we should be excited about video games anymore, because I feel like that isn't quite a topic that I've seen covered too much lately, but it is 100% relevant with this new disappointment. That was one of the most hyped games, not of all time, but I mean, for sure, it was a huge game that a lot of people were excited for. I think like 9 million pre-orders or something like that. Absurd amount of hype for this game. And then it came out and was just such a disappointment. I have not played this game since day one. You know, I just can't get back into the game. Maybe I streamed it the second day it was out as well. But I remember streaming it and I thought it was okay. And the thing is when you're playing a game, you're just trying to rationalize yourself. Like, that's what I felt like. I was trying to rationalize certain things that were going on in the game, and I was trying to enjoy it as much as I could. And at the end of the day, I just haven't gone back to play it because it's just not fun to me. It feels like I have to work to get enjoyment out of it because there were just so many things going wrong with the game, and they kept distracting from what I see as maybe a year from now, maybe the end of 2021, the game will be a lot of fun. It'll be a phenomenal game. It'll be another redemption arc. I don't know how it's going to be a redemption arc for the company, but for the game, at least, it'll be something we all talk about, and it's such a great game. But at this moment, I'm not going to be touching Cyberpunk until it's completely fixed. Completely fixed. So it sucks. It really does. I was so excited about that game, and I'm just going back to playing old games. I'm just playing Yakuza 0. Never played that before. Getting that series. That game's fun.